And we are live. What is going on, Ring? Oh, I'm about to say Ring Kings podcast, LBHT crew, and we did a live stream yesterday. Okay, actually this morning we did. It was this morning we did the live stream. Okay,
I see you
all
still
right.
sending the link to the wrong email address.
Huh?
So I see you still sending the link to the wrong email address.
Which link?
The stream link.
To Hendo?
Yeah.
I sent it to. Oh, yeah, I did. It's habit. What is going on, LBHT crew? As you can see, we're off our game, but it's not our fault because this isn't our week to go live after games. Okay, this isn't our normal week, and we're gonna make it quick. In fact, you don't even see B right now. Okay, you don't even see him. He's on vacation. Sure. All right, that's right. I'm just talking to myself right now. Danity said, disgusting win. Yeah, disgusting win.
Danity is the most emotional person I've ever seen.
Living big with Big Reg. What's going on? Look, the Ravens win 20-10 over the Chargers, okay? And as bad as we looked, think about how disgusted Chargers fans are. And our dad's a Chargers fan. He's disgusted right now, okay? 4 turnovers, still had a chance to win, and they just couldn't do it. Yeah, Hendo, a win's a win. Hey, Hendo, check your old email. We sent you a link. Shug said, just want to let you guys know I'm alive. Good to hear, Shug.
Why wouldn't you be alive, Shug?
Yeah, I mean, you seemed fine earlier today when we saw you. Killer Cam's in the house says, what the F was that from? Oh, I think he meant monkey. He said monkey, but I think
he meant monkey.
Felipe Moreno says, if the Ravens win out, you guys think Lamar wins MVP?
He's currently not the betting favorite to win MVP. That's moved over to Jalen Hurts now. Yeah. I think he should.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I agree. DeAndre Thomas, what's going on? Says the Ravens have a serious coaching problem. Yeah, but, listen, 9-3. I'm not a fan of how he coaches these games. The way he coaches these games, man, like no killer instinct. None. Way too conservative, just poor decision making, man. I'm not a fan of it. But like I said, everything that we're saying right now about Harbaugh, think about what they're saying about Brandon Staley right now. What's going on, Buck? Shout out to you for the 333 donation. Says congrats on the win, LBHT. ZTD celebs are awesome. Oh, celebrations are awesome. Yeah. That was a nice little soccer celebration that he did there. And that was a good play. Way to close it out. I didn't think we were going to do it, but we did it. Avram Diallo, what's going on? Says, I haven't seen a Ravens wide receiver do this since Steve Smith Sr. just to be the knockout punch. Yeah, I'll take it. Let's see what else we got going on here. Alfonso Richardson, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. DDSQ salute, says 9-3 with most wins in the conference is nothing to be ashamed of. 2 West Coast wins are good no matter how they look. I mean, look, we'll take the win. Obviously, we're happy about 9-3, but we're trying to win a Super Bowl, right? And we're always going to critique this team. And again, it's not, I'm not. I'll take 9-3. Definitely not complaining about the 9-3 win, but that could have easily been a loss. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could have, but I mean, like the Chargers aren't a pushover team. They're not a particularly good team. They're not a pushover team, and the Ravens have played 3 games in the last 14 days.
True. What's going on, Hendo?
What's going on?
Hey, man. So, no, I agree with you, B. And again, this isn't like I'm not. This isn't a fire hardball type of week for me, but he didn't do a good job coaching. Like we look sloppy. There's some decisions out there that he made that he shouldn't have made. But I'm not crushing him either. It was just another game we didn't look like we're prepared, and it's almost like we can look at the schedule and see which games they're going to have like this because this is always what they do. And I said it. We're looking at a team that's, they're 4-7 now. They're 4-6. They're a very talented team, and this is a team. Even though we shouldn't overlook, we'll overlook and we'll look sloppy against them, and that's what happened.
Yeah, and the offense. I mean, you're gonna have, excuse me, you're gonna have good days, and they're gonna have days like this because they don't have go-to players on the offense.
True.
They just don't, and so there's always gonna be times like this. I mean, a few weeks everybody was in the chat. I was watching over on Coach's stream, like, oh, just give the ball to Keaton Mitchell, just run the ball, Keaton Mitchell. Oh, why are you giving it to Justice Hill? Ball, just give the ball to Keaton, just run it. 3 weeks ago, you were saying just give the ball to Gus. What happened? Right? It's because though they aren't that guy. Keaton Mitchell still, I mean, he had another nice night, but these aren't players that the coaching staff trusts to close out games.
Right.
You don't have anybody, especially with Mark Andrews gone, that the coaching staff actually trusts in the passing game. Right. And so that's why you look like you don't have an identity on offense, because you don't.
Right.
It's entirely the quarterback. So yeah, I mean, they get in these situations. That's why I see Cam's asking why they run in all misdirection, just line up and run it, because a lot of times when they just line up and run it, they don't go anywhere.
Facts. Which is why we didn't get that 4th down conversion.
Well, I mean, that's because Gus saw the blockers and said, "Nah, I'm good."
That's because they ran the Wildcat.
We don't have that guy. You know what I'm saying? Keaton Mitchell, is a good change of pace back. He's not that guy. That's what we were supposed to be trading for at the trade deadline. We didn't get him, right? You want to be a serious running team, you have to get that kind of running back. We don't have that kind of running back.
But it's weird to me though, because what you saw in this game was how things should be in Baltimore for the past several years, where the offense doesn't really have a ton of talent, and they kind of struggle to put up points, and the defense closes the door, right? Because, but when it happened, everybody's complaining about the offense. Whereas before, when the defense was constantly giving away leads, y'all were complaining about the offense.
Yeah. Hendo.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man? Give us your thoughts on this game.
Highly disappointing game. I know it's a win, and a win is a win, and we're number 1 in the AFC. But for me, we just had 10 days off. We had 10 days to prepare for this game. The Chargers played last Sunday, so they're a little beat up, a little tired. I know we had to travel. We traveled right after the holiday, but this is the time that you instill your game plan. You set it, and I'm not going to say perfect it, but you kind of have it down pat. We went out there and looked disheveled on offense. Defensively, as the year has been, we've been doing our thing, and we almost, once again, blew a 10-point lead, but the defense is out there doing everything that they can. At the end of the 4th quarter, they got the ball back. Jadeveon Clowney sacked Justin Herbert, got a turnover. Offense automatically went out 3 straight plays, 60 seconds. Defense is back on the field. So for me, it's week 12 going on week 13. And outside of 2 or 3 games, we're still having the same offensive problems that we've had to start the season. We don't have, like B said, we don't have an identity. We don't know we're a run team. We don't know we're a pass team. Just like we've said before, hey, great, we got Odell Beckham Jr., but go out and get DeAndre Hopkins. Get somebody that you know is a true number 1. When Lamar gets in trouble, he can get in the ball, because Keenan Allen was that for Justin Herbert. Mm-hmm. Keenan Allen had 14 catches, and we knew that he was going to throw him the ball, but we just couldn't stop it. So I think offensively, we need somebody like that. Also, I just think Todd Monken, I don't think he's in full control of this offense. He can't be. He cannot have ran 2 successful national championship college programs, and I'm not comparing college with the pros, but you can't have 2 successful programs and then come here and look like this. Not in week 13. And that 20 points to me, I'm glad they got it for fantasy purposes, but that 20 points is a mirage.
Well, technically, yeah. I mean, look, I won't call it a mirage, especially that last touchdown. I mean, that was a close it out. Right, I'll give them credit for that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like I said, we stalled too many times. We put the defense in really tough situations. But I'm gonna show a lot of love to the defense, man. They really held up this game where the offenses didn't have it tonight. And B's right. Like we should celebrate that the defense a little bit more. I mean, this is
Right.
kind of what we been trying to build the team to be, where we run the ball and the defense can get it done. But it's still disappointing that after you pay Lamar, and I just feel like it should shift towards the offensive side. They still don't have those guys, and it's clear. But I mean, like I said, the defense, man, they really held it down, because that game could have been ugly for us.
And coaching wise, listen, Harbaugh, the 2 plays that you should have challenged, you didn't challenge. The one that you shouldn't have challenged, you did and lost the timeout. And that timeout could have cost us, because we had already burned one earlier. And that left us with 1 timeout for the half. So, it's more than offensively. It starts from the head up, and it trickles down to everything else. I just don't know if we had what it takes. Because listen, defense, Super Bowl caliber defense. But come playoff time, we can't hope to hold the Kansas Cities. We can't hope to hold the Miamis or whomever else is out there to 13 points. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. Let's read a couple of comments here. I think B's frozen. Yeah. I'll bring him
He's
down.
thinking about vacation.
Yeah. His internet's taking vacation as well. Flock Nation speaks. What's going on? Says 3 straight road games, an international game. Fatigue has to be a factor too. Bye week coming at the right time. Probably taken later than Harbaugh should have elected to take it. I agree. I'm sure that factors into it. Keenan Ricketts, what's going on? Says we have to get touchdowns after defense balls out with sacks and fumbles. We always waste momentum. I agree with that too. We come out there flat-footed, like we didn't know we were going to get the ball. Josh Hoffman, what's going on? Says, "Oh my God, don't get me started on Mac. Not since Dwight Freeney when Ogden had turf toe, man." Khalil Mack had one of those "I'm back" type games, man. That was, yeah.
And it didn't matter if it was Stanley or Moses.
Right.
He was giving it to him.
I was surprised Stanley came back this game. I thought he wasn't going to come back until, after the bye week. But again, another issue I have, because people are going to say, "Oh, Stanley sucks. He sucks." Why are you rushing him back so early? Right? Let this man heal up. Well, I know why they rushed him back early, because you saw what it was like without him.
Jeez.
Stanley is stuck in limbo. I'm be real with y'all, man. We can't get rid of him. He's stuck in limbo. He's in a situation where he can't get 100%. Or even close to 100%, because anytime he has to sit out, that O-line completely falls apart, right? And then they rush him back, and he's not 100%, and he doesn't look great. You can say he doesn't look good, but it's better than what it was before. But it's not good enough for Ronnie Stanley standards, so he's going to get that criticism. I hate it. Jake P, what's going on? Says Monken is falling into the abyss of OCs who engage professionally with John Harbaugh. The track record speaks for itself. Yeah, look, no matter who they bring in here, the offense is going to look similar. It's going to be a lot of running. I'm sick at this point. I'm sick of the run options for Lamar. I don't even like those. I prefer you eliminate it for like 99% of the playbook. Like no run options whatsoever. Get yourself a running back, run the ball, do play actions, let him run it off of, broken down pass plays or whatever. Every now and then call run for him, but like 2 or 3 plays in a row, you're doing a option and he's keeping the ball and running it. Nah, I ain't for that. Shout out to Jared Green for the donation. Appreciate you. Says, what pissed me off was John challenged that forward pass, but didn't challenge when Nelson Aguilar got the first down. Yeah. Again, that was more of a, man, I'm embarrassed that we gave up that big play, so let me go ahead and challenge this just to be sure. Yeah, man, look, that's what happens with trick plays. Sometimes trick plays catch you off guard, but defense still held up. And I don't give John Harbaugh any credit for that defense. That's that's all McDonald. But that challenge I didn't. It was an off game. And again, I'm not even questioning John Harbaugh for this game. right? I'm taking into consideration what everybody's saying, man. Like, we're going into our bye finally. I'm sure these guys are tired, lots of traveling, going to have off games, but it just speaks to our concern that we've been having for a long time, is that this team always has these off games against these type of teams.
Mm-hmm.
And this team in particular is very dangerous because they have all the talent in the world, right? They're just not winning. And again, Chargers fans, I know they're looking at Brandon Staley like, bro, you're 4-7 now, right? Like, you're not losing because of injuries. They're not losing because of injuries.
True.
They're just not winning, and they lose a lot of games like this, right? Where it's just like, all right, well, what's going on here? Defense is playing well. Keenan Allen had 11 straight catches. My thing is, man, why throw it to anybody else? They clearly can't stop him. Right? It's like everything looks okay on paper. Everything looks okay when you're watching the game. They just don't score, right? Mm-hmm. Or they score and then they still don't win the game. Like, they lost to Green Bay last week.
Yeah.
So that's all they had. I mean,
and I think that's one of the teams that adheres to coaching matters, because once again, they have all the talent in the world. Even when Mike Williams was healthy, even when J.C. Jackson, they signed him in free agency, and Joey Bosa was healthy, they had a star-studded team, and they just still weren't winning. That was the whole reason that they brought Brandon Staley over there, because he was a defensive-minded coach, and they felt like with the offense that they had, they just need somebody to come in and show up the defense. It hasn't worked.
Yeah. All right, look, 80 people in here. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. We are streaming live right now on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. All right. So wherever you're watching, hit that follow button, hit that like button, all that good stuff. Let's see who we got up in here. Be the change you wish to see, says the mesh point was magical, but is so sloppy now. Yeah. Your Rock Hawkins says, I cringe every time they call that QB option run. I agree. B, can you hear us, B?
Are you there?
I've been here the entire time. Okay.
Well, a frozen picture of you was here the entire time.
Well, I just wasn't able to get into the conversation, so I would. I think it should be good now. I went ahead and restarted. I'm back.
What happened was he put his computer on airplane mode because he's going on vacation here soon. All right, listen, the next 2 weeks, the LBHT show will be hosted by myself and Mr. Hendo. All right, B will be in Japan. Okay, enjoying his time over there. Mm-hmm. So look, we're gonna have some fun shows for you guys. You guys already know that. All right. And thank you guys for tuning in to the premiere. We didn't have a live stream last week. We had a recording, but we did a premiere, and you guys showed up for that. You guys seem to enjoy that. This week we'll be live. Okay, myself and Hendo. So make sure you tune in. If you're new here, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We are trying to reach 2,000 subscribers. I think we can do it by the end of the year. All right. Who else we got in here? Let's see. Josh Hoffman says Lamar and Mark Ingram had the mesh point where there'd be 2 full steps during it. That was nice, but now it's done. Yeah, man. JP says, guys, it's J.K. Dobbins packing his bags with the emergence of Keaton Mitchell. J.K. Dobbins was going. I mean, they weren't going to bring him back.
Yeah, he was packing his bags when he tore his Achilles.
Right. Antonio, my friend Antonio says that was an intense game. Glad we hobbled away with the W. I agree. Thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate you. Keelan, what's going on? Says it's time to fire the staff. We got to get a West Coast offense that puts Lamar under center and uses way more play action. Monken has no deception, and his offense is stale. Yeah, look, we're 9-3. Nobody's gonna get fired. I agree with you. But then they're not gonna get fired unless we completely fall apart in the playoffs, right? I'm not hoping for that. I hope we win it all. But I agree. I just don't like the way this, they're coaching Lamar. I think they're wasting his talents. I think they're wasting his time.
I don't really agree. Yeah, I mean, if you have a great coach with a great scheme, you can go out there and run that, and the talent will be less important. But if you have the talent, any offense will work. Any offense will be just fine.
Yes,
it's just that the Ravens don't have anybody who scares defenses. Not really.
Yeah, but so you're saying if we had a talent, you're cool with keeping Harbaugh?
I didn't say I was cool with keeping Harbaugh. I mean,
well, that's what he's saying.
Words in my mouth. No, he's saying to change the offense. I mean, yeah, he's saying to fire the staff, and that's neither here nor there. I'm saying you got to fire the staff regardless, or John Harbaugh regardless. I'm saying I don't think that the fix is, well, let's just change the style of offense. The fix is and always has been get better players on the offense. Right, even the guy who has,
with the play calling.
Even the guy who has, arguably the best scheme out there. You're looking at Kyle Shanahan, went out and got the best possible players at every position that he uses, that he heavily uses in that scheme. Right, like you can't just ignore that part of it.
Yeah, and I think part of our problem is with the RPOs and just running Lamar. That's their comfort zone. If things aren't working, they just say, you know what? Let's not make any adjustments. Let's just run Lamar. And that's the safest thing that we can do. And you can see it during the game, like when it started getting stale and things weren't working, run Lamar up the middle. And if we haven't learned by now, this is what gets him hurt. We're never going to learn until we get a new regime in here that's like, yo, this is our best player. Let's protect him at all costs, because this offensive line is defensive. And they're not doing everything that they can to help Lamar. Now, my thing is with any offensive coach, Kyle Shanahan, it doesn't make a difference who you are or the enemy. You fit your scheme to fit the talents of your players, and unfortunately we don't have that talent right now.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pull some stats here from the game. Lamar Jackson finished the game with 18 of 32 completion, 177 yards, a touchdown, no interception. All right, 11 carries, 39 yards. Those 11 carries, though, that's what bothers me. So it's 11 carries, right? Because more than half of those were drawn up plays. I don't like that. Keaton Mitchell was the leading back, 9 carries, 64 yards, 7.1 yards per carry. I like that. Gus Edwards, 8 carries, 26 yards, 3.2 yards per carry. Justice Hill ended up more than Gus Edwards, 5 carries, 31 yards. All right. And then Zay Flowers with the 1 carry, 37 yards, and a touchdown. Isaiah Likely, your boy, the leading receiver. How y'all feel about that? 4 catches, 40 yards. That's disgusting. Zay Flowers, 5 catches, 25 yards, and a touchdown. And then let's see here. Jadeveon Clowney with the strip sack. That was crucial. Broderick Washington got a sack as well. Brandon Stevens, he had 6 tackles. Roquan Smith looks like our leading tackler with 8 tackles. So, pretty clean from the defense, man.
Jonathan says the Ravens have enough talent to be more productive than this. Y'all got to stop. Jonathan, they're the number 5 offense in the league, right? So maybe you should stop complaining altogether, right? I mean, nobody plays well every single week. What we're talking about is when you get into these tight games, you don't have an identity. You don't have someone to go to, right? That's not that's not a problem that says, hey, they're not productive every single week. They are productive, right? Yeah. And it's just when you get into these situations, they don't have the answers in these situations, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about productivity, you need to look in the mirror and tell yourself to stop, because they are very productive on offense.
Right. Don't confuse productivity with playmakers. Okay, we don't have those on the offense.
DeAndre, the coaching doesn't suck. They're 5th in the league in scoring. Right? They're very productive. Why does the coaching suck?
Yeah. I think people conflate the two, right? Like B said, we're a productive team. I think we lead the league in rushing touchdowns as well, right? But do we have that guy at running back? No. Keaton Mitchell shows flashes, but I don't think anybody thinks he can be an every down back yet. There's different levels, right? Like you're not confusing him with Christian McCaffrey. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to sit there and say, well, you give him enough carries, he could be Christian McCaffrey. Nobody thinks that. All right. Nobody thinks he's Derrick Henry, even though Derrick Henry is in decline. Nobody thinks he's Saquon Barkley or any of those guys, right?
Again, the problem is a few weeks ago, Gus Edwards was the best running back on the team. Tonight, Keaton Mitchell's the best running back on the team. Last week, Odell was the best wide receiver on the team. Tonight, Zay's the best wide receiver on the team. You don't have somebody who's in those roles. And so you never know where it's going to come from.
Yeah, yeah. Kiwi Wood says more checkdowns, less screens. I did like that he checked it down a couple of times tonight. I did like that. I would like to see more of those. Less screens too, because our screens look scary every time we throw them. There's one that looked like yeah.
Like how?
Those are they look like the slowest developing screens. It looks like everybody in defense understands that it's going to be a screen before our wide receiver realizes it's going to be a screen. Like, man, I don't like it. You know, I don't like it. But yes, I do like the checkdowns. More of those. 107 people in here. Oh, okay. Y'all love discussing the Ravens at midnight. Okay, on Sunday night when I gotta go to work. Hit that like button, okay? And if you're new in here, hit that subscribe button. All right.
Judge says the offense is productive because of the talent. They don't have answers in tight games because the coaches don't have answers. Where does the talent go in tight games?
Who's the talent you talking about?
Outside of Lamar.
Yeah, like why does the talent go away when the games are tight?
Like
here's a hint. That's a sign that you don't have the talent you think you have.
Oh, he said we need to stop the wide receiver screens. So let me ask you this: if we had Tyreek Hill out there throwing a screen, you think even as poorly developed as the screen is, and I do agree. Dewan says this. Dewan says this, right? And I'm not picking on you, but he's just they are. I agree. They are bad plays. But if we had Tyreek Hill on that bad play, what do you think happens? Right? We're getting some yards on that. Right? That could turn into a big play. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all we're saying is that there's different levels of talent. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have some talent, like they can play in the NFL, but we don't have playmakers like that. We don't have any Justin Jefferson. We don't have any Keenan Allen on this team. Like, I know you guys are sitting there saying, like, why can't they cover this guy? Why does he keep getting the ball every time? Because he's that good.
Right.
He's been that good since he stepped into the league. Right? Even when he's hurt, he gets 1,100 yards in the season. Okay? That's how good that man is. We don't have anybody like that. Right? That's what B is talking about when we're talking about talent. Right? We don't have an Austin Eckler on this team. Right? Like, I mean, we don't have Mike Williams, even though he's always hurt. We don't have a Mike Williams on this team. Like, Justin Herbert's got all the weapons over there.
Sure.
It's still 4-6 or 4-7 now. But
and I think the thing that people get misconstrued is you have talent, then you have elite talent. It's two separate things. We have talented on this team, but we don't have elite talent on offense that scares anybody. Outside of Lamar, nobody on this offense scares the other team that they have to bracket for.
You ever seen the Chiefs play, DeAndre?
Wait, the Chiefs don't have talent?
What you talking about, Willis?
Chat, do the Chiefs have talent? I think they have one great talent. What do you think? I think they had one of the greatest tight ends that you've ever seen play. Do we have that? I must have missed that.
Even your boy run hard. Who's your boy, B? Isaiah Pacheco. Even he runs hard. Derek McKinnon.
Now, I won't say anything about Isaiah Pacheco because Chiefs fans, they'll tell you, yeah, he'll run hard when he finally decides to run forward.
That is true. Rashee Rice.
Oh yeah, Rashee Rice. He went off today.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are not cheeks.
So if the Chiefs win next week, they're the number 1 seed in the AFC. How are they cheeks?
Yeah, Chiefs have an awesome offensive line. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we haven't said his name, but the obvious person that needs to be added here is EDC. You guys don't like it when I talk about EDC, but when you talk about we don't have this, we don't have that, whose job is it to get these guys?
Mm-hmm.
Eric DaCosta. Okay. The reason why our offensive line is bad now is because of Eric DaCosta. How many offensive linemen has he drafted? Tons. Tons.
Oh, Travis Kelce watched the game. Travis Kelce's better than everybody on Baltimore's offense, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
There isn't a player on that side of the ball that I wouldn't give up for Travis Kelce. Not a single one. You can have, I mean, take your pick.
Right.
We don't have anybody close to that talent. Josh Hoffman says, you miss how last year for the fan base to cope, we needed Likely and Andrews to both be borderline Kelce. Otherwise, no one would know what EDC was doing. Yeah.
No, Spooky J. Lamar was not included in that statement.
No, we said minus Lamar. Yeah. No, we wouldn't give up Lamar. Obviously, we wouldn't do that.
Crazy.
Haas, I'm gonna tell you something, Haas. This sounds like a broken record. It says Chiefs ain't the Chiefs of old. They ain't scoring nobody, and they have a better win in conference. That's why they're the number 1 seed. Well, I mean, one, that's what you need to worry about. We don't need to worry about the NFC until the Super Bowl. 2, we say this. We've been saying this. Well, you guys have been saying this for 5 years.
Yep.
Right. They make it to the AFC Championship game every year. All right. They are not worried about regular season. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to make their run. And if we're going to get it to the AFC Championship game, we're either going to have to go through them or we're probably going to have to see them in that game. So, I mean, look, man, y'all got to stop saying that. Like, they're not the Chiefs. They're right there at the top with us.
Keelan says Chiefs have mediocre receivers, but they have a play designer that's probably the greatest play designer in NFL history. Andy Reid has been able to scheme up players to be open his whole career, and they have 2 losses directly because those receivers can't catch. Keelan, what did the play designs matter?
I got a question, Jose.
Yeah.
After last offseason, not this one, the one previous, and Tyreek Hill went to the Miami Dolphins, didn't everybody say the Chiefs stupid? They ain't gonna do nothing without Tyreek Hill. And what did they do that year?
They won a Super Bowl.
Oh,
but you know what's funny though? You know what's funny, Hendo?
What's that?
Simultaneously, they also said Tyreek Hill ain't worth that $30 million he's getting. They're like, Miami overpaying, man. Miami got Tyreek Hill, and they turned from a borderline starter to an MVP candidate.
Facts.
I take that over here.
Facts.
Hey, AL, hey, thanks for wasting your time over here. If you think the show sucks, hey, let me help you out over here. Let me help you out. There you go. So you think the show sucks? There you go. No, I don't want you wasting your time.
Facts.
Let's see. DeAndre says we're not watching the games. We not watching the games. The Chiefs wide receivers are worse than the Ravens, but because they're well coached, they make plays. They're not worse than Ravens wide receivers. You're not watching the games. We watch a lot of football. We've seen enough Chiefs games. They're better than what we have. All right. Maybe Zay Flowers develops into that. Right. I mean, I would probably take Zay Flowers over Rashee Rice. I'd probably take him. Everybody else, what are you talking about?
DeAndre, talk to me about the Chiefs wide receivers and their 3 losses. Talk to me about the plays they made. Just go ahead and put it in the chat what they did against Detroit, Denver, and in this last game here. I forget who it was. Philly. Tell me about the Chiefs wide receivers in those games.
But I don't want this to be just about wide receivers though, because you're not going to overlook Travis Kelce. He's a playmaker, right? We don't have a Travis Kelce on this team, and don't say Mark Andrews. He's nowhere near close to being Travis Kelce.
Thanks.
right? Good player, not Travis Kelce.
Mhm.
Like I want somebody when we need to get some points, we need to move down the field. We know we can rely on him. Somebody like what they had tonight in Keenan Allen, right? They didn't get to the end zone much, but boy, did he get them down the field.
and didn't our wide receivers have like 10 drops in a game?
Sure did.
But people tend to forget those things.
Yeah. MJ says Ronnie has been playing well. See, this is why they want Ryan to come back tonight. This is why. Ryan's been hurt. You know, like it's funny how we always focus on Ryan Stanley when he's in there, but when he's out the game and that O-line is a complete mess, we can't, you know, we got nothing to say then. All right? Like, nah, he doesn't look great. Huh?
When Ronnie's not in and they got your boy Macari in there, we need Ronnie back. Fast.
Yeah.
Bro, DeAndre, Odell Beckham is under 400 yards. Right? Now, I'm not saying that these guys are better than Odell, these guys are better than Zay or whatever. I'm saying that neither one of those teams at wide receiver has that guy. The Chiefs have that guy at tight end. They don't have him at wide receiver, but the Ravens don't have him at receiver or tight end.
Hey, who are you talking about here, Joseph? Who's a clown? Yeah, led the NFL in touchdowns before injury. Clown. Who are you talking about? Let's see. Keelan says Light Monken can't even call red zone and goal line passing plays because he can't design them and has never been able to. Andy Reid can actually design, pick plays, and use motion to create space down there. Oh no, we don't disagree with you, Keelan.
Not at all.
No. We don't disagree with you at all on that. Like Andy Reid, superior coach, with no question about that. No question about that. Right. B's argument is that if we had more talent, that would help mitigate, the lesser coaching.
It wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Josh Hopkins saying, well, we better hope we figure out how to make someone develop like that from the draft because we aren't paying for it. This isn't free safety or inside linebacker. Yeah, and look, Zay and Keaton Mitchell look like they have the potential to be those kind of guys. They're just not that right now.
Hold on, Joseph. You said Andrews. And you talking about Andrews led the league in touchdowns before he got hurt. Now who are you calling clown? And I'm guessing you're thinking that you're arguing that Andrews is just as good, if not better, than Travis Kelce. Right. Go ahead and make that. Go ahead and make the argument. And I just tell me who you're calling the clown. Go ahead. Y'all getting real spicy tonight.
Facts.
So somebody didn't get their stuff in at Thanksgiving. Oh man. All right. I promise B this would not be a long live stream, okay? Because he's on vacation. You don't even see B right now. You don't even see him. Okay, he's not here.
He's invisible.
Yes. But it's still 100 people in here. Hit that like button. If you are new, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button like Mr. Zion Lion did earlier today. Okay, salute to you. Appreciate you. All right. Daniel Perry also hit the subscribe button a couple of days ago. Appreciate you. All right.
I want to know who should like another team.
Who said that?
Right here by Lee. You might as well like another
weren't
team.
you in Coach's stream just now crying about Justin Tucker? Wasn't that you? That wasn't you.
Oh God. I honestly, all joking aside, I honestly need to know, where do you get your super friends badge from? Because you're the super fan. Just because somebody's critical of a team doesn't mean they don't like them. Just because we're not licking somebody, just because we're not kissing somebody's behind, doesn't mean we don't like the team. Just because we're not like, oh, they're doing everything perfectly. We just look so good. Yes, the Ravens are going to be the Ravens. They've been that way since 1996, which I have been a fan of. And I'm going to speak my piece, regardless if you like it or not. You don't have to come here. Super fan.
You guys will never be this. Okay.
I want to be friends with EDC.
I want you guys to know right now, that will never be you. Okay. You will never get a phone call or knock on your door from EDC or John Harbaugh for them to wrap their arms around you and say, couldn't have done it without you. Thank you for your support.
Right.
All right. That's never going to happen. All right. So it's okay to be critical of the team. We said we're happy we got the win. But are you going to sit there and say, hey, great performance? I was just happy with that game through and through. Or were you frustrated? Of course you were frustrated. Right? Like, you want to go out there and, like Coach Evans says, put foot on necks. Right? Like, 4 turnovers in the game, that should be a blowout. Right? You should at least win by 2 touchdowns at the very least. And we squandered a great performance by the defense. No, I'm not completely happy with that.
Right. And I think that the thing that people don't understand is we're a better team than this. And we're frustrated because we're not showing what we have on the field. This is the same story that we've had year in and year out for the last 5 years. We sleepwalk our way through the regular season. Then we get to the postseason and think we can just snap our fingers and turn it on. Then we lose in the playoffs. And we're back here again like, oh, well, we're going to do this again next year. We're not going to do this again next year because this team is not going to be the same as it was. It's not going to be constructed like it is this year. We're going to lose a lot of people. We might lose our defensive coordinator. So, yeah, I think they need to take this serious because we're not looking good, even though we're winning. And luckily for us, a lot of these teams are going through similar injuries to key positions like we are, and this is aiding us in winning. Like, people don't really see that. This is not going to happen in the playoffs. If you think this same Chiefs team is going to look like they did these last 3 weeks minus today, the playoffs is a different animal. So, hey, take it how you feel.
My friend Antonio says, so based on how the team is constructed now, what will be drafted first next year? What we want to see is O-linemen, right? That's what we want to see. What they're going to do, I don't know, best player available. I don't
Safety.
know.
Inside linebacker.
Honestly, I think they'll go corner. If there's,
they're gonna go corner.
I think they'll go corner. That is a need. But I would like to see them show up the O-line. So tackle, I mean, if we're sitting there saying Ronnie Stanley's cooked, then it has to be tackle, right? That has to be what we show up first. Yeah, I agree, Killer. It's got to be tackle. But I can see corner. What are you saying, B?
No, I was going to respond to Keeland, say that. Okay, but Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, and MVS are all mid to bad. The receivers are mid. They just have a better play designer than the Ravens. Munkin only throws the ball when it's a deep pass situation.
And Travis Kelce. And
listen, that's not incorrect. But the Chiefs are also scoring less than they have the past several years by 5 to 6 points a game. It matters who you have in those positions. It doesn't. It's not just, hey, we got Andy Reid, so we're going to score. They're scoring 23 points a game because they have bad receivers. Now, they're still able to do it because they have Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid.
And they don't have Eric Bieniemy. I'm just.
But like, you can't just throw that out there like it makes no difference who it is. And it's just, oh, man, they got the scheme, so they're good. No, they're scoring less than they had before when they had Tyreek Hill and other receivers because aren't as good.
Look, that goes without saying, right? When you lose a talent like Tyreek Hill, you're going to score less. That's obvious, right? That's not something to argue about. That's obvious. When you have less talent, you're going to score less. They're good enough to keep winning because they're a good team. They have the best quarterback in the universe, right? That's why they keep winning. But it hurt them losing that talent for sure. But they still have a playmaker in Travis Kelce that keeps them dangerous. Yeah. Let's see. What about Jacksonville? They look like a bigger threat than anybody.
I thought that, but after watching them against Houston today, listen, I understand. CJ Stroud is a problem. Yeah. But defensively, outside of Josh Allen, Jacksonville don't got it. And if Trevor Lawrence isn't hitting, because he almost threw that game away. Like, I thought in the beginning they were going to be a bigger threat than they are, but I don't really think so. They should have lost that game today.
Danny, we're not going to be spell checking people. Leave DeAndre alone. He's fine.
then chastise them. Oh my goodness.
DeAndre, man, look.
No, DeAndre, listen. said that you could argue either way. They both have bad receivers. Their receivers aren't productive, right? And I pointed out Odell's production because it's goddamn nothing, DeAndre. Not because somebody else has a little bit more or whatever. He's not producing at all. He had a third of his production came in one game, right? And you're talking about George Kittle versus Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has been an elite tight end for one season out of his career. George Kittle, I mean, he has injury issues, which is why he looks less productive. And also they have a lot of mouths to feed in San Francisco, which is why their guys look a little less productive outside of Christian, who gets all the touchdowns. But no, we're not talking about the production. We're talking about the plays that they can make, right? It's not just about, hey, they're missing 1,000-yard receiver. They had a 1,000-yard receiver in Hollywood. You all hated him, right? You had a Mark Andrews who went for 1,300 one year. And I mean, he just drops passes in the playoffs and he doesn't take over games because he's not really that guy. He's a good tight end, a very good tight end, but he's not an elite tight end like a Travis Kelce, right? Gus Edwards is, I think, second in the league in rushing touchdowns. You think he's the second best running back in the league? Of course not.
No. Hey, where did Joseph go? I'm still trying to figure out who he's calling a clown. You gotta go. Hey, Joseph, I need you to answer that question if you want to stay on this channel. Let's see.
Whoa. Odell has injury issues. That factors in to you being a good player. He's had injury issues the last 3 years. What are you saying?
What are you asking me to be consistent on? We all we said was they don't have that guy at those positions. Who is it? Who is it? Who is the elite player on that offense at the skill position, DeAndre? Just type a name into the chat. Who is it?
Yeah, who's that guy that obviously outside of Lamar, the other teams are like, we got a game plan for him. If we don't game plan for him, we're gonna have a long day. Right? You got players like Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams,
AJ
Brown, Jamar Chase, right? Devontae, yes, right. Like you have a lot of players out there. Killer says could be Zay, but is it Zay? Right? NDT Sports says Zay. I don't think teams look at him and say, "Listen, if we don't shut this dude down, we're in trouble." How could they?
And we just said if those guys they have potential to develop into that, but they're not that right now.
Yeah, no, they're not that right now. And we're talking about right now. We're trying to win right now, man. Like this whole kicking the can down the road in terms of this guy's going to be this. This guy's going to be this. No, we're trying to win right now. And yes, we're winning games. That's great. We're a playoff team. That's great. But when we get to the playoffs and we fall short because we don't have anybody that can make a play, right? Well, we're going to have this conversation again. This isn't the first time we've had this conversation, guys. All right. And this isn't the first time where we go into the playoffs and we fall short because we don't have anybody that can step up. And we have this conversation with you guys, and you're just like, yeah, we need to get somebody like Tyreek Hill, because this was a conversation 2 years ago when Tyreek Hill scored that touchdown against the Bills, right? That 13-second game.
Yep.
Right, and everybody's just like, oh yeah, we need somebody like that. And here we are 2 years later saying, well, Zay could be somebody. What's going on, Coach? Thanks for coming through. He's responding something to Alex. What's Alex saying? Alex, what's going on? Says keep throwing the ball to Zay at the line of scrimmage for some reason. Yeah. Speaking of Coach Evans, right? I've watched Coach break down a film before, and he showed how this team just doesn't know how to run screens, right? And from what I remember what he broke down was when the screen is developing, those receivers, those tight ends, they don't get out there in space and block, right? They're kind of standing around waiting for the receiver to catch it instead of running to go and set up their blocks. They just don't know how to do it. And at this point, they're clearly not being coached well enough, because if coach is seeing that and pointing that out. What are the coaches on that coaching staff that are paid to do this? What are they doing? Right? Why aren't they pointing that out? Saying, hey, you need to get there faster. Right? You need to set up these blocks so the defender isn't sitting there waiting to catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just poorly constructed.
Yeah.
DeAndre, this team's double team Mark all the time, but no one game plans to take him out of the game. Shaking my head. First off, we said now that Mark is gone, so apparently you're not really listening. But Mark can get double teamed because who the hell else are you guarding in Baltimore up until this season? That's why Mark gets double teamed.
Wait, all right. I mean, look. Come on.
But no. Honestly, Adam Thielen gets double teamed down in Carolina on that team that's 1-10.
Yo,
the fuck are you talking
man.
about, DeAndre?
Come on. We're not sitting there saying that Mark Andrews is a playmaker. We know he's not a playmaker,
Christ, bro.
We know, like, I'm not. Again, this is not saying Mark Andrews is a bad player. Obviously, he's a good tight end. He's not a playmaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not worried about him taking one to the house. When's the last time he did that? I'll tell you, because we watched it the other day. It was his rookie year when we played the Chargers, right? And he took one to the house, right? That's when he was playing for his starting spot, right? And for some money. Okay, that's when he was trying to beat out Hayden Hurst for the starting spot. That's the last time you see him have a pass that he took to the house. Haven't seen one since. That's not his game, and that's fine. This is not a diss to Mark Andrews. That's fine, but he's not that guy. When's the last time Travis Kelce did it? Probably a few weeks ago. Definitely did one last year. I think he did it against the Chargers. Didn't he? Wasn't it a game against the Chargers?
Yeah, it was against the Chargers.
He had like 2 or 3 he took to the house.
Yeah, he had like 4 touchdowns that game.
Right. So no, there's no different. There's no comparison there. INFJ Tyrone says the bombs they didn't catch shows he's not going to be the man. I won't say that. I won't say that. You know, stuff like that is a timing issue, right? And he's a rookie, and him and Lamar got to get on the same page. You got to throw the ball more. This is what happens when you throw the ball more. That timing gets down well, right? They have a feel for each other. He could turn into that. I wouldn't base it off of that one play. He's no, he's not Randy Moss. He's not Justin Jefferson. He's not one of those guys that can, you just throw it in the vicinity and he'll catch it. But that timing can get better. Zay he could turn into one of these guys, but he's not that guy right now.
Right. But also you need time to throw the ball. You need time for these plays to develop because for some reason we have long development plays down the field that take 20-something yards to get started. And the offensive line just isn't holding up.
All right, KP, thank you for the donation, man. Appreciate you, Keelan. Says they trying to turn LJ into a screen pass merchant. Yes, they are. Yeah, and that shows the flaws of the coaching staff, right? They're limited in what they do. They're not that creative. And it shows, man. Like they want to be a run team no matter what, because they think that's just a safer way to go. Mm-hmm. But then when they need to pass the ball, there's no rhythm to it. And when they do start to get into a rhythm, they go away from it. Because they just don't trust who they have out there. That's crazy. For a team that wants to do certain things, they don't have the players that they trust enough to do it. Even running the ball. They want to be a run team, but they don't trust their players. They don't trust the running backs to run the ball, which is why Lamar has 11 carries.
Yeah, they want to be a run team, but they don't have the running backs to necessarily be that team that they want to be. And they certainly don't have the O-line to be that team they want to be. So, yeah, it falls to the most talented runner on the team, Lamar. And they're content with that.
He says, I think Zay will be T.Y. Hilton and Santana Moss type receiver. They can get you production of a wide receiver 1, but will be limited because of their size, but will be better off as a wide receiver 2 next to a bigger wide receiver 1. T.Y. Hilton and Santana Moss at their height, at their peak, were number 1 wide receivers. They were really good. And I will take peak T.Y. Hilton or peak Santana Moss any day.
Facts.
They were really good.
They are a fake winning team. That's what we've been saying for the last several years. Because they get to the playoffs, even in 2019, they get to the playoffs and they abandon the run. Right. When you get into these tight games, they abandon the run because they don't believe in the players that they have in the run game.
Yeah.
But they also don't want to do anything. They don't want to do what it takes to upgrade those positions.
Yeah. Let's see. What's up, Ferris? YA and Luck would be deadly duo.
Go Man's defense wins championships. Why haven't you won a Super Bowl since 2012 then?
They don't win championships anymore. They can assist, they can help for sure.
I need to know if defense wins championships, why didn't we win a Super Bowl in 2004 and 2006? If you were a Ravens fan back then, because that was they were two truly dominant defenses. And we didn't even sniff the Super Bowl.
2004, 2006, I'll argue were better defenses than 2000.
Facts.
Yeah, they're saying this entire point of this is that the coaching is bad. Nobody's arguing the coaching is bad, but you have to understand that your players aren't that good either.
Facts. What happened to Odell in the second half of that game?
I thought he was going to go off.
Not saying they're bad players.
Right, they're just not.
They're not.
They're not the ones that when things get bad, when you need 6 yards on a 3rd and 5, you don't know who the ball's going to. Lamar doesn't have that one guy that he's like, yo, I give him that look like, I hate to say it, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, like, yo, you know what to do. And get those yards that they need. We don't have that player. We have decent to good players. We just don't have truly dominant players. On the offensive side.
Go man! You came late to the discussion, man. We gave the defense all the credit for this.
All the credit.
Yeah, and you're saying what about this defense though? Your offense is number 5 in scoring. So let's not say defense wins championships and discredit the offense that's scoring the points.
Look, go man! Make no mistake. Like I'm happy that the defense is holding up. Right. Today's NFL defense doesn't win championships. It can assist, it can help, but you have to put up points.
But the lucky thing for Baltimore is, and this is to DeAndre's point as well, the elite offenses around the league are all kind of broken right now. The Chiefs, they're suffering because those guys refuse to catch the ball. Buffalo, I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're even going to make the playoffs. Joe Burrow's out. Obviously, Deshaun Watson's out, although they weren't an elite offense anyway. But and nobody's afraid of Tua. I mean, like they still have the receivers, but like maybe it's just me. I don't believe in Tua getting them the ball in the playoffs. But we'll see.
I was always higher on Tua than you were, but I feel you though, B. It's something there. I don't know. Like you wouldn't be surprised if they go off, but also you feel like you can stop them.
Right. I got a question.
Yeah.
If defense wins championships, why are the Jets so bad? Because they have one hell of a defense.
They sure do.
Or do they? Who was the last defensive team to win a Super Bowl?
Well, I know. Seahawks? No, it was and I feel like you asked this on purpose because it was the 2015 Broncos. Peyton Manning was the worst quarterback in the league. He led the league in interceptions. He almost threw a pick six on I think it was the first drive of that game.
Yeah.
But because Jonathan Stewart got hurt early on and they had fat Mike Tolbert as the backup, Carolina couldn't move the ball at all. Because they obviously didn't have any receivers either. And so they got shut down by that defense. Thanks though.
Yeah, Seahawks were good, but I mean that was 8 years ago. Right? You have to and we don't have we ain't got no Von Miller on this team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we ain't got no DeMarcus Ware on this team. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, like those defenses that take over, look at those rosters.
Yeah, that Broncos team had 3 first-round corners.
Yeah. No, and again, our defense, very happy with it. Like no shots taken at this defense. They are playing lights out. They won this game tonight. But if you're looking at those defenses that won Super Bowls, What? Noah.
What's up, Noah?
Boom.
Oh,
What? No, it was removed.
Gone.
Listen, and those defenses didn't have problems stopping the run. I tell you that. As great as our defense is, we have issues stopping the run.
Yeah.
That Seahawks team. Look at that roster. Look how many of those players are gonna go to the Hall of Fame.
Facts.
Right.
A prime Bobby Wagner, Richard Sherman,
Yeah.
Brandon, Bow, whatever his name is, this other corner.
Was it Bolden? I forget his
Browner.
Yeah.
Cam
Chancellor.
Chancellor. Man, Earl Thomas. That defense had some 55. Well, they just had a bunch of people. Bruce Irvin
and Michael Bennett.
They had people on every level.
Yeah. We don't have that. We got good players. Again, don't get me wrong. We got good players. Our line is solid. It's solid. I'm happy we got Clowney. Clowney is having a very good year. In fact, his best year, I would say.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. Michael Bennett. Yeah. So, yeah. I want to do. I want to go around the NFL real quick and read some of these scores, and then I want to talk about those thug big Bills players trying to fight fans today. Did you guys see that?
No.
Oh, you didn't see that? Oh, let's talk about these thugs. Okay.
Bills fans?
No. Bills players.
Oh, Bills players
trying to fight a Philly fan.
Okay.
Trying to fight a Philly fan.
Right.
Okay. Let's go to the scores real quick. Packers beat the Lions. I was surprised by that. Cowboys beat the Commanders 45-10. No surprise there. Jack Del Rio got fired. Yeah, he shouldn't have had this job that long. 49ers beat the Seahawks 31-13.
We knew that.
I'm not sure that Geno finished that game. I know he went into the game hurt.
He came back.
I know Kenneth Walker was also out that game. And 49ers are tough. Dolphins beat the Jets 34-13. They had that Hail Mary pick six, which is the Jets always find a way to embarrass themselves. What can I say? Colts beat the Bucks 27-20. Giants, oh my God, Patriots. They beat the Patriots 10-7.
Yeah, they did.
Just when I think they can't get any lower. Just when
again.
So
somebody said Mac Jones been benched more times than they've won.
They got win.
Yeah.
He's been benched every other game.
As many times, I believe.
He's been benched every other game, but for some reason they let him start the very next game. I don't get it.
Shout out Ferris. The Ferris is a Giants fan. Yes, they beat the Patriots today. I don't know, man. The Patriots they look awful. Panthers was the Titans 17-10. And man, every time people show clips of those games, Bryce Young is taking the worst sacks. And when I say taking the worst sacks, I don't mean he's holding on to the ball too long. I'm saying he gets the ball, he takes a step back, and then he gets hit.
Yep.
I mean, I would cut those guys now because clearly they're not trying. That is not, oh, well, the other team was just too good. Oh, well, the time was off. No, like you gave up. You're not trying. And if that's how you're going to play, you can go now. You can get anybody to do that.
They did cut somebody.
Okay. Falcons beat Saints 24-15. Jaguars beat Texans 24-21. The Saints are a disappointment. They can fire their coach as well.
And
yeah. Rams beat Cardinals 37-14. Kyron Williams, they always find a running back.
Don't they?
They all. I mean, Kyron Williams. You don't know about him. He's pretty good. Broncos, guys. Russ is cooking. They win 29-12. 5 straight.
Yep.
5 straight. They are on the winning side now. Man, good for y'all, man. Eagles beat the Bills in overtime 37-34. And shout out to Jay Spence. He's a Bills fan. He's got a channel. He posted that clip of there's a few Bills players. They approach a Philly fan that was close to the sideline, And obviously that Philly fan was talking smack. Of course he did. It's Philly. So one player is right in his face. I mean, they're face to face. They touching foreheads, right? And they talking, and that Philly fan is like, "Yo, we beat y'all. Go home." You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the players were, but another player came behind and shoved the guy, right? Yeah, and there are other players, kind of surround them. They piled up like a gang against this guy, but that Philly crowd's behind them. They're like, "Yo, what's up?" But they broke it up pretty quickly, and they walked off. Listen, the game's over. You already lost.
Right.
Fans talk trash, right? Sometimes it gets real disrespectful. I understand that. I can even understand if you're going over there to kind of mouth off to them a little bit or whatever. Then just walk away. Just go home.
But Jose, it's the holiday season, and if I get hit, I got a lawsuit, and all my family prospers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that guy didn't. That Philly fan didn't fall down. I'd have fell straight to the ground. I'd have bounced. My back would have bounced off those bleachers. I would not have gotten up. I'd have showed bruises on my chest. He hit me right there.
right. Show me on the door when he touched you.
Bills are here. Yeah. Bills are in the gutter. Yeah, that was one of those losses. Look, it's the Eagles. They're the best team in the league. They're 10-1. All right, you lost to them in overtime. That's a tough loss. But that's not something for you to fight fans over. Now your 6-6 record is something for you to fight fans over. We should probably
particularly tough when your quarterback keeps on throwing bonehead interceptions.
Don't take that out on the fans. Take that out on your QB. 29 of 51, 339 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Damn, 9 carries, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a solid game there. It's those interceptions that do you in every time, though. Listen, 6-6, you're not out of it, but it's not looking good.
No, it's not looking good at all. Especially if they keep losing. I felt like they had to win that game.
They did. I think they had.
I kind of felt that way too.
Yeah, they got the tough. I think they had the third toughest schedule for the remainder of the season. So yeah, this was kind of like it for them.
And then the Chiefs beat the Raiders 31-17. Listen, Chiefs are 8-3. Look, man, like they're gonna be right there. That's all I'm gonna say. They're gonna be right there. Everybody's saying they're not the Chiefs are old. You've been saying that for like 4 or 5 years straight. They're not going anywhere.
Crazy part about that game is the Raiders went up 14-0, and everybody's like, "Oh, I told you, Kansas City ain't nothing." 31 points.
Yeah,
game on.
Patrick Mahomes 27-34, 298 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Rashee Rice 8 catches, 107 yards, and a touchdown. All right. Browns start Flacco. Did they start Flacco? No, they didn't start him.
No, they started DTR, but he went out with a concussion. And then PJ Walker came in, and he's been his ineffective self, so you never know.
No. You ain't gonna put that on PJ Walker. He wins games he starts. So
okay.
They didn't start him. That's on them.
What's up, Tim Miller? Yeah. Be a professional player, man. Like don't put your hands on the fans, man. Especially when they're just talking, right? Like you shouldn't even be hanging around there after the game. Just walk off.
Let's go.
Just walk off. They broke it up pretty quickly though. It's just not a good look. Let's see. Mac Jones getting more chances than most people get in life.
Facts.
I think I think you're right, Go man. They should start Joe, and I imagine he didn't start this week just because he literally just got there.
Yeah,
I think he'll be starting next week.
And if you're a Ravens fan, if you are a true Ravens fan, Flacco is not in shape.
But you also know
if he's not if that phone ain't ringing, okay, he ain't lifting. Okay?
But you also know that if he has a chance to secure himself another contract, he won't ball out. Okay.
True.
So Cleveland is one to watch for the rest of the year.
Flacco is not one of those players. Like Cam Newton, he said he's been staying in shape. I believe him. That's just part of his lifestyle. He's been waiting for that call. He hasn't gotten a call in 2 years. But if you call him, he'll be in shape, right? He still might have to wait, sit out a few games to kind of get acclimated to the team, whatever. Right. But he's in shape. Joe Flacco is not in shape. He is not working out, waiting for that phone to call. He was sitting at home with the rest of us watching football. Okay.
Especially for 10 weeks.
Right. He says the Panthers technically still have a chance. Don't put it like that, Dandy. They're only 4 games out of the division lead.
Yeah, that's a bad division.
What?
They're
4 games out with 6 to play. We need to get Frank Reich out of there. All right.
That's why he should have been fired last week.
Yep.
Right? Like they're wasting time.
I mean, they're not really, but you'd like to be able to make that argument to your fans that we tried everything.
Damn.
Yes.
Y'all are handing the number 1 pick over to Chicago.
ATL's leaving the NC South. The division's not real.
It's not real.
You're not real, Ferris.
All right. We're going to wrap it up here. Over an hour.
Winning games with Tommy DeVito.
And winning.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Hendo, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me at the Road Pod on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. I normally do a live show at 8 p.m. every Sunday. You can also find me every Tuesday at 8 p.m. with my man, Mr. Galloway, on Electric Relaxation with Mr. Galloway, talking all things hip-hop. And tomorrow night, or tonight, I guess, at 9 p.m., you can find me on the Ravens Roundtable, Sip to Tally Films with Jose Brodny, Chris Just Joking, and OTR Mike with Coach Evans.
That's what we'll do.
Not this week.
Yes, this week.
B starting his vacation. He said he already put in his PTO.
He said the same thing before this stream, but here we are.
I said I wasn't going to do your stream, though.
Duly noted.
Thank you, everybody. Still have 80 people in here. Hit that like button. If you are new, hit the subscribe button. It only takes 2 seconds. All right. Also, if you're a boxing fan, head over to Ring Kings Podcast. There was a excellent card last night featuring David Benavidez knocking out or TKO at least over Demetrius Andrade. Okay. 2 excellent fighters, both were undefeated. And David Benavidez is most likely going to fight Canelo Alvarez next. All right. So check out Ring Kings Podcast and we break that all down for you. But that is it. We're getting out of here. We will see you guys tomorrow night on Coach's Stream. The Ravens Roundup. You will see all of us minus B. It'll give you that look. And then you will see us here Wednesday, myself and Hendo, and a special guest. Yeah. You got to tune in to find out. All right, B, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, listen, Ravens fans, got the win. Be happy about that. We're gonna be on the bye. It was sloppy. Okay, don't sit here. Don't cry when we critique the play. All right, we're critiquing the team. We're still happy they got the win, but there's some things that we're concerned about that we want them to clean up. So that's all it is. We still got the win. Shout out to the defense. All right, but with that, we are out of here. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Peace.